Hello. Hi everyone, this is Janet Trevino and I'm going to talk about the code of conduct, the rules. So if you're seeing this live, hello, welcome. If you're seeing this after the fact on YouTube or my blog or whatever it is, welcome as well. So I just want to let you know that I'll be interacting. If there are comments, then of course I'll just be responding to comments and just doing what I can to be part of this great community that I have here on Facebook. Today my hair is, I'm having a lazy day, so I just put my hair in this bun thing like hours ago and it's fallen and I don't know, it's kind of cute, it's like a little flower. Anyway, so welcome to my video. So we have a code of conduct. Can you see this? I kind of printed them all out. Code of, it's probably like backwards, you probably can't even read that. Anyway, if you go to the website Cuddlist.com and go to the FAQs, you can find out about kind of the rules, the code of conduct that we abide by as best as we can. Sometimes, you know, there's slip-ups, things happen, and especially when you're a new cuddlist, at least me, you kind of wonder, like, why are these important, and is these something that I really need to follow? And with time, you start realizing, oh yeah, these are really important. So sometimes things, you know, things happen and you're still learning along the way, and I feel like I can at least give myself that ability to kind of feel it out, and I've learned, yeah, these are really important, so I'm talking about it today. Also, I have people that sometimes request cuddling sessions with me, and they want to do it, you know, again, via like email or like Facebook, and just say, hey, I want to do a session with you. As much as I would love to do that, what I usually do is I have people go through the Cuddlist website and find me and then book a session through them, and I get an email. Actually won't show you any because they'll have names on them, but I'll get an email that will kind of you know, give me your information, ask you some questions, and it also requires you to read the code of conduct. At least it's there for you to read. So that helps me so that I know that you've actually looked at it. Hopefully you kind of read through it, you kind of know what to expect. So here we go. I'm going to go through one by one. Number one. I'm taking this idea from my kids. They do this in their YouTube videos. Number one is, client and practitioner must both verify they are at least 18 years of age and therefore able to give consent. I have never asked anyone for ID. I do assume that everyone is over 18. This is just, you know, basic kind of thing. I've never had any suspicion of anyone being under 18, but I guess that's possible. But for the most part, all of my clients have been over 18. So it must be 18, because under 18 you really can't give consent. So that's important. Number two. This is a non-sexual service. Both client and practitioners agree to not pursue or encourage sexual arousal. Whew, this one's a hard one for a lot of people. A lot of people that I meet come from the massage world, and it's usually a sexual type of massage, happy ending type. So of course they're thinking, you know, this is when I receive touch, I get aroused. And so a lot of my time talking with people is explaining to them how this is a non-sexual experience, and how there are ways we can experience touch that can be nurturing and intimate. And I mean really close, like physically very close, and it's not to build arousal. That's not our intention. It happens sometimes, and we acknowledge that sometimes people will have an arousal response to things, and that's, again, it's typical, it's normal. And at the same time, we guide it in a different direction. So when that happens, we kind of, at least I do, I try to figure out. I'm not only looking at like genitals. I'm looking at, you know, their heartbeat, is their heart racing, are their hands getting grabby, are they starting to sweat, are they starting to move their bodies a little bit more, you can kind of start to tell, like, oh, okay, this is where they're thinking it's going. They might not say anything, but it's going in that direction, so we just need to turn that ship around, right, to really turn in a different direction, and usually it works just fine. So anyway, but again, this is a non-sexual experience, and it's not here to encourage that. And also because at the end, if you are being aroused, it's so disappointing. At the end of the session, you're gonna leave with tension and leave frustrated because there is no release here in a cuddling session. So just staying away from that. Number three. I think the numbers are probably backwards. Sorry about that. Thinking about that. So client and practitioner both agree to practice consent and attention to personal boundaries at all times. Consent, boundaries, big words, because in our culture, as we hear some politicians speaking about just grabbing things and that, somehow people are entitled to other people's bodies, we have this culture where we can just go do things to each other. And that is not what, that's not what a cuddling session is about. So as much as you and I, someone might say to me, well, do whatever you want, touch me however you want. That's something that I don't practice. I don't just take that blanket consent, because we need to practice asking each other. We need to ask, is it okay if I put my hand, on your chest? Is it okay if I touch your hair? Is it okay that I do these other little things? And even the smallest things, I just check in. So then with me modeling that, my hope, and it's been effective, but people then, they treat me with the same kind of respect that I treat them with. And so then we're creating that, again, that culture of consent, and then learning, these are my boundaries. And so, yeah, and we'll go over boundary stuff in a second when we talk about what areas are off limits. Number 4. Let's get the number. Client and practitioner will communicate to find what is mutually comfortable throughout each session. This applies to all communication prior to and after sessions as well. I make a promise during all the sessions that I will only do what I'm comfortable with in a session. And then, that also includes what's happening in my mind. So for example, I'm truly present there. I want to be there. I'm enjoying our time together. It's important for us, for them, people to know that I'm not feeling obligated, that I'm not just doing things, because I'm just going through the motions, that I really enjoy it. So that's important on my end. And on the other end is I also ask them to make the same promise back to me, that they would also only do what they're comfortable with. And what that looks like sometimes, it looks a little bit different, is that sometimes they will say, I really would like to spoon with you. Like, great, let's spoon. Nice. And then maybe like even 10 seconds into it or 20 seconds, they hate it. They're like, oh, I don't like this position at all. But they asked for it, right? And that's so great. They asked for something that they wanted, and then they don't like it. So then I tell them ahead of time, before we even begin cuddling, it's okay to change your mind at any time. You're never stuck in a position. You can stay there as long as you like. You can stay there as short as you like. And it's okay. And having a culture where you can change your mind is, I think, very empowering. So I'm trying to create that so that we can try something, have it for 20, 30 seconds and go, no, I don't like it. Or find a position where you want to stay there all day. That's fantastic. It's all up to you as to how you want to receive touch, and so of course being comfortable the whole time. Number 5. Client confidentiality is to be respected at all times. So any of the information you give me in your request, that would be through the email system, when you request a session, or in our session together, is confidential. I don't share who you are. I don't share information about you to anyone else. That is for us only, and that's important for you to feel safe. Not everyone can come to a cuddling session, and the other people, maybe they're prominent in the society or they have family. They don't want anyone to know, and so you can really be safe with me. Know that no one's gonna find out that you saw me. If I see you in public, even just as therapists would work, if I see you in public, I am not going to call you out, right? I'm not going to come up to you and go, hey, how you doing? Like, I will treat you as if I don't know you, unless you come to me. So that's, even to that level, I'm trying to protect your confidentiality. Number 6. Client and practitioner both agree to be free from any mind-altering substances during the sessions, and thereby fully present and able to give consent. So, what does that mean? No drugs, no alcohol. I don't drink before our session. I don't need to do that to get relaxed, and I encourage people as well not to need to do that. So we're just doing things completely sober. Number 7. Minimum clothing of tank top and shorts to mid-thigh for both practitioner and client at all times. Now, if people said, well, this is, cuddling, wouldn't it be better if it were skin on skin? Isn't that nice to have like that warmth of skin? And I tell people I don't provide kangaroo care. That's what you do with babies, you know, with preemies especially, or with newborns. You have them skin on skin, and it does have amazing health benefits. And I think if you can find that in your life, skin on skin is ideal. At the same time, skin on skin is really not always the best thing for cuddling, because it can mislead, it can misdirect our time together. Again, a situation where there might be arousal, there might be misunderstandings. And it's also just to protect us, that relationship and those boundaries. So, no skin on skin. So I do require for everyone to have a t-shirt, and I've also learned my lesson, no boxer shorts. Or you can have boxer shorts, but you have to wear more than boxer shorts because of the same thing. Like, you know, they're just too thin. There is an entrance, an exit, or, you know, the boxer shorts are created so that you can eliminate when you need to. And that is not always helpful in a cuddling session. So it has to be more than boxer shorts. And and I have yoga pants and usually a loose fitting shirt. So, and clothes stay on during the whole session. People have asked, can we take the clothes off? And again, I've explored, you know, what that might look like, what might happen, and I realized, yeah, it's usually problematic. It's not ideal. It goes into a different direction. It's just not a good idea. So clothes on at all times. Number 8. No hand to genital contact or intentional genital stimulation of any kind. So going back to like consent and boundaries and being comfortable, I would be really uncomfortable if someone touched my genitals, or, you know, that would take me out of my relaxation and trust, because, you know, especially because it's a boundary. It's one of our things that we use to protect our time together, and so yeah, it moves in a different direction. So you can't touch anything in my bikini area, you know, the butt, some parts of the other body. You know, I say if you're doing a hold and the hand just lands maybe on your butt, you know, just like stays there, that's okay. But again, when people start getting grabby, like, then you're just like, whoa, we're going in the wrong direction. Like, that's not, so like if it just sits on, you know, on one of my cheeks, it's okay. Just as a comfortable thing, like it just lands there. But again, I don't allow for anything outside that. And then breasts, people ask, well, can I touch your breasts, or can, you know, how's that? Because that's not really genitals, and I do not feel comfortable with any kind of breast play. Again, if in a hold your hand lands maybe on top of my breast or just up below it, like, that's cool, or even just like in the armpit, like, that's cool. But, you know, even so, like on the breast usually does not create the kind of cuddling relationship that goes in the right direction for what we're trying to do. So that one's an important one. So no one's getting aroused. And then, of course, I don't touch anyone else's genitals. That's understandable. Number 9. No exchanging of saliva in any way. So, as much as I would, you know, I love kissing. As much as kissing is fantastic on the lips, that's so fun, you know, to do with maybe a partner. That kind of exchange is not appropriate for cuddling. Again, it changes the dynamic of the relationship. It moves us into like this more of a romantic, and this mouth on mouth can be really intimate, and it just does something completely different. So I don't do any kind of kissing on the mouth. Now, every once in a while, depending on the position, if I have someone's head really close to me and I can get to their forehead, a nice kiss on their forehead, just one, it's just, there's something about that is really, really warm, and it's nurturing, and it's like, for me, since I'm a mother, it feels very motherly. So I will do a kiss on the forehead, or maybe if I have their hand near me, I might just kiss their hand. And again, it has a different feel to it. It feels different. It's not arousing, and it's not, you know, sexually motivated. So again, that's important as well. So but then people take liberties with that and they go, okay, I'm just gonna kiss you all over the neck. And I'm like, whoa, hold on a second. Just because we're not exchanging saliva, I also, again, the intention is really important. So if the kiss is just like, I say one time, usually for me, a one kiss is way better than like 20 kisses. So just do one intentional kiss and just rest. There's something really powerful with just one, you know, maybe one kiss on the cheek. Nice. So then, you know, again, I'm watching, I'm listening, I'm trying to figure out what their intentions are, and we learn as we go. And every relationship is different too, so I just try to figure out what works for everybody. Number 10. Either party may end the session at any time. So this hasn't happened to me, and I haven't had to use this this code rule, but you know, if at any time people are uncomfortable, or if I'm uncomfortable, or if it's going in the wrong direction, and you know, there isn't that respect and those boundaries you know, being honored, then yeah, we can end a session. And you know, there aren't any kind of refunds for that. That just, it happens. Again, I haven't had to use that, but it's there for people. And then of course, if they're just like not into it, they're like, you know, I'm just not really into the cuddling thing, and I thought I might be, and I tried it and I don't like it, and after 30 minutes they want to go home, they can. So that's completely up to them. No one is trapped to be with me. I know. Sometimes people probably do feel trapped, but no, just kidding. But yeah, you're not trapped. Number 11. Client agrees to fully disclose any diagnoses or conditions that may affect their session to the practitioner. Yeah, and I haven't had an experience when anyone's had some kind of, you know, serious situation where they need to let me know about ahead of time. I have had PTSD, and you know, it's never something that's, you know, out of control. So I haven't had a need for anyone to kind of come up, but I do, you know, I do check in with people about, you know, how they're, you know, because I have my cuddling area is on the floor, so I just check in to see that they're able to get down to the floor and get up okay. Because you know, I like to make accommodations in case people can't do that. If there is any mental health issues, of course I'd love to hear it. I don't reject people or, you know, decline a session based on anything physical health or mental health, unless again it's a danger to myself or anyone else, but I haven't had that situation come up. So I want to welcome people to just have whatever you have, whatever is going on in your life. I want to make it a safe space for both of us to be able to receive that intimacy and that touch that can be really healing. And lastly, number 12. Client and practitioner both agree to respectful personal hygiene. Client will let Cuddlist know if any practitioners do not have acceptable personal hygiene. If you know me personally, you know before I started cuddling, I could go a long time without taking a full body shower. And now I take a shower before every cuddling session. So I've left my hippie ways in some ways, but I do that out of respect, right? So I take a shower. I'm try to be as clean and not giving any sense, natural sense off, so that I'm respecting, you know, everyone's news sensitivities. And so then, of course, you know, clients can come, and I also, you know, really appreciate when people take care of their own hygiene. Again, my hippie ways, I'm pretty good with, you know, BO, certain levels of BO, like I'm comfortable with that, and, you know, oral hygiene is really nice, and I do make accommodations for that. So if you come and you forgot to brush your teeth, or, you know, whatever, I have floss, I have mouthwash, I have gum and mints, I have all that, so that makes, I just don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable if they come, like, man, I'm feeling really insecure about that. Not a big deal, just we have all that to take care of that. And you can just come and just rest and have a good session with me. So that's pretty much the code of conduct, and that's why it's so important that when you book a session, you read it over, you make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into. No one wants to waste their time or money on a session. This is not what you're looking for. There are plenty of fantastic practitioners out there that do sex work, and you can find them, and I don't. So that's pretty much it. So much love to you all, and I look forward to seeing you in a cuddling session if that's what you like. Take care. Mwah.